This is Money Motivation to Mike, and I am Michael Wainwright, and on the other end of the table is Jason Wright. Let's check in here and see what we've got going on today, Jason. Now, I'm going to talk about tariffs, which is a major topic going on in the United States of America. Pro, cons, etc. But before I do, headlines. FBI agrees to aid search for Texas Democrats who fled restricting session. Now, this was as of August 7th, which this is August the 8th, so that was yesterday. All right. U.S. Senator John Cornyn announced that the FBI will collaborate with the Texas authorities to track down Democrats, which I believe is around 50, something like that.
Yeah.
50, let's just say Democratic legislators who left the state to prevent a redistricting vote. That is a new approach, Jason. I've never heard of that before. And Abbott and Attorney General Paxton have threatened legal measures such as declaring seats vacant and pursuing arrests. Political experts have said that the governor does not have the sole power to immediately expel lawmakers.
Yeah, he has to bring it before Texas.
Before Congress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's the House there. I'm not sure which body it goes in front of. I'm assuming just Texas House of Representatives.
Yeah, and to most people, hey, they're trying to redistrict. Who cares? The John Q. taxpaying citizen, whether the line's here or line here, don't really care. But because of this right here, is my understanding, they have flood victim stuff that they need to address, and they can't address because they don't have a quorum.
Yeah,
that's the big deal.
Yeah, I think they have to have a 2/3, which would be 100.
There's about 150 of them down there
total. Yeah, 150. They
okay,
have 100.
That explains why the number of Democrats that have left the state are around 50. I'll be anxious to see how this comes out, and we'll continue to monitor it and bring you some information right here on our show, Money, Motivation, and Mike. Now, back to the topic that I really want to talk about today is tariffs. And tariffs have been around, Jason, longer than the Internal Revenue Service. How about that?
I didn't know that. Yeah.
The tariffs used to be our major money maker in the United States government.
Yes.
Before the federal government figured out they could tax the citizens.
Right. Before the income tax?
Income tax, Social Security tax, Medicare tax, all the above. Yes, it was about tariffs. So, as I have talked to people just know that we're taxing a country for whatever we're taxing them for. And a lot of people don't even understand what a tariff is. Before I get into what is going on in the country, I am just going to try to explain to you what is a tariff in a simple term. Tariffs are taxes imposed by one country on goods imported from another country. Tariffs are trade barriers that raise prices, reduce available quantities of goods and services for U.S. businesses and consumers, and create an economic burden on foreign exporters. That is the Google version. All right? Now let's simplify that down. A tariff is a kind of tax on goods a country gets charged for imports and exports. That's mainly it. You bring a good into the country, you didn't make the product in the United States. You're bringing it in, you have to pay a tariff tax to bring it in. Now, what I believe the current administration is trying to do is that old Walmart deal, made in the USA. And I have said many times on this show and off, the United States of America should never have to leave the borders or into the seas to find what we need to live a very, very comfortable life. I don't believe that we should ever have to go anywhere for any of our goods. Now, what this also is saying is a company outside the United States and doesn't want to pay the tariffs, they have to come to the U.S. to make their product. Now, with that, creates, in my opinion, more jobs. When you don't allow countries to bring in goods at a cheaper price, lots of people say then your labor goes up and your product cost goes up. Yep, it does. But the gross domestic product, the standard of living, etc., always also rise as well, in my opinion. So when you bring in stuff from AKA China, where we have known many times about child labor, very, very, very low wage. I wouldn't even call it wages. I just call it a wage. That takes away jobs here, and you get the product at a cheaper price. It's a give and take, but nevertheless, like I have said, we should never have to leave the United States of America for anything. Anything. Okay. Now, back what I was saying a while ago about the federal government and tariffs being around forever. Tariffs as a government revenue. You're going to find this interesting. Tariffs, a significant source of revenue by the U.S. government in the past, particularly before the introduction of the federal income tax. Now, that's almost 100 years ago. And over the past decades, tariff revenue has constituted a smaller portion of our government revenue. And here's an example. Fiscal year 2024, custom duties, that's where the tariffs are collected. Custom duties revenue for fiscal year 2024, Jason, any idea?
No idea.
$77 billion.
Okay.
It's not like a lot of money.
It is.
Okay. Now, during that same fiscal year, how much income tax money do you think was brought in off individual income taxes and in companies as well?
I would assume upward 100 plus.
$2.5 trillion.
Pretty significant.
So almost 4 times, 3.5 times what was brought in off tariffs. Now, this number was put in here, but I don't know why it was put in here, because this money is supposed to be earmarked for other stuff. $2.5 trillion coming in federal income tax. Social Security and Medicare taxes contributed $1.7 trillion. All right. We know Social Security and Medicare taxes plus the contribution from the employer is 15.3%. And the federal income tax brought in $2.5 trillion to $1.7 trillion. So another 50%. So that would tell you that federal income tax rate on the average was about 20%. You follow where I'm going with that?
Yep.
Okay. Because we know 1.7 trillion is 15.3. All right. So let's just go to 2.5. Actually, you could say it's even more than that. It's probably more about 22 to 23% of income tax brought in. 22 to 23% of the monies that were made brought in. Now, what that also tells you, like I say, you know Social Security Medicare is 15.3. They take 7.65 out of your check, and then the employer matches that. 6.2 Social Security, 1.45 Medicare. And that number equaled 1.7 trillion. And we've now figured out through a little bit of math in our brains that the 22 to 23% is 2.5 trillion that was brought in on income tax. That would tell you that the higher income tax brackets are paying most of the tax. You get that?
Yeah.
Because we went over tax brackets last week and how the big, beautiful, whatever that thing's called, is affecting the 50,000 and below people, especially the 10 to 30,000, 26, 27% help. Okay. But our average tax that is paid is still in that 22, 23%. So that means the 37%, the 33% are paying a whole lot more than the 10 and 15% to bring that number up to in the 20s. Because in essence, what it is the higher end tax brackets are paying a whole lot of the tax, and the lower income tax brackets have brought that down into, let's just say, 23%. That is complication 101. Trust me, I've worked these numbers. I'm just telling you. Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go back to what I said a while ago. $77 billion brought in off tariffs in the fiscal year 2024. Through June 30th, the first 6 months, the first 2 quarters of 2025. Tariff revenue, $108 billion. Last year, $77 billion, $108 billion through the first 6 months. That's a 94.3% increase compared to the same period from last year. Tariffs are collecting money.
Yeah.
How about that?
Seems to be a good thing.
All right. Now, where's this money going? The revenue collected from tariffs obviously goes into the government's general fund, but I don't know if I like that or not, and used to pay bills, okay? If you've increased it really 100%, 94 point whatever I said a while ago, 94.3, if you've increased it 100%, what are we doing with that other money? All right? Now, while the increased tariff revenue can reduce a lot of other things, and the money goes into the general fund, that general fund up there is just big. It's like one freaking checkbook. And then they take it here and here and here. Because as you already know, the $1.7 trillion Social Security Medicare tax, that should go in its own pot. Because that's paying off people who contributed to Social Security. Our problem as the federal government and the United States is we've taken that money and used it for other things. And that's why we're going to have a deficit in the year 2035. By right now, projected 30%. You got all that?
Yeah, I follow.
Generally, what I've heard this administration say, talking about giving some money back to the guys and gals of this country, but also decreasing the national deficit, which I've always thought was a hocus pocus thing. It's like we throw that number out there, but what does it really mean to us? Now I know seem like we've been going farther and farther in debt to China and some of those cats, but it's just like they turn on the machines and print more money. It doesn't keep them from from trying to balance a budget like every state and every city and every county in this country does, parishes in the state of Louisiana. It doesn't. We have to balance the budgets. The local municipalities do, but the government doesn't, and they don't seem to care. So, do you think, Jason, with these tariffs and it being up virtually 100%, you think they're going to be able to balance a budget coming up?
Well, they had a surplus, last month?
That's only 1 month, sir. That's one.
But trending, right?
That's 1 out of 12.
If we've got 2 months in a row, maybe it continues that way. We're eating away at it, right?
We'll see.
Yeah, that's right. We'll see.
I think we got a better chance of getting 250,000 followers than they do balancing the budget.
Well, that's going to happen for sure.
Because we are on track.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the end of the year. Same time they're going to start theirs. All right, so when I go back and I look at these tariffs, I have some numbers here, the percentages that some of the bigger countries that we do business with are paying. All right? First place I go look is I want to see what China's paying. How many things do you pick up that says made in China?
Too much.
Too much is a great way to illustrate that. Too much is a bad number right now.
Yeah.
Well, right now China pays 30%
in tariffs.
And it's set to increase another 30% by August 12th if negotiations aren't met. Did you know that?
Yes. I had heard. I didn't know the number, but yes.
All right. So I look there, and then I also think that we buy a lot of stuff from Japan.
Yeah.
Japan only pays 15%. They must be in good spirits with our federal government.
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those reciprocal things. How much are you allowing us to send you things? Are our goods able to be exported to them? Those kind of things. I think that's what Trump is working with, is how much import versus export, et cetera.
Did you know Canada's paying more than China? Canada's paying 35%.
They don't take anything from us.
And Mexico is paying 25%.
Yeah.
So I want to go look at the borders, and I want to go look at those two big ones right there.
I think India was pretty set at like 20-25%, but Trump is threatening them with 50% tariffs.
India?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, as a matter of fact.
It's over the Russia.
Yeah. CNN started out their reports this week with India. India will combine 50% tariffs set to take effect at the end of this month, later this month, unless we can continue to have negotiations. Right now, he's not having any negotiations. Yeah. This is what you got to do. You're either going to do it. 25% right now could go to 50. by the end of the month. As a matter of fact, he's giving them till August 27th. All right? Because he wants them to cease purchasing oil from Russia.
Yeah.
All right? What I would say to that is, these are the kind of things that I think the federal government should have been doing a long time before today. And we're scared to go put pressure on somebody. We're the good old boys, so yeah, bring it on in here. I know it'll hurt the taxpaying citizen, but just bring it on in. We're not doing that right now with this administration. This is how it's going to be, and if you don't like it, this is what you're going to pay. And they need the export money worse than we do.
Yeah. The U.S. economy is 1/3 of the global economy.
I thought it was more than that.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It's very significant. When you compare to the entire world, if you lose our market, you can go out of business, as a lot of Chinese companies have.
We got all the power in the world.
Yeah.
So why are we not utilizing that more?
Yeah. It's leverage.
It's called business.
Yeah.
And they've been hammering us. By the way, these percentages that I'm telling you about, this is as of yesterday, August the 7th. So, I mean, everybody's trying to get their tariffs down every day. So these could change before you even hear our broadcast here. Now, because I just talked about the India deal, which, like I tell you, is the big point right now. The drug lords of this world, or especially in the North American, South America area, comes from South America. Big time Colombia. All right? Big deals there where, the Colombians are bringing their drugs through those South American countries. And Panama was always a big one. That's where Manuel Noriega got in trouble, because he's being paid off to let those drugs come through his country, which is why the government went down there and got him in 1994. All right? So, this is interesting. Colombia, Costa Rica only pay 15% tariff. Argentina, Chile, Dominican Republic, 10% tariff. So my thought is, why are we not? And then you got Mexico paying, what I say a while ago, 25%. Mexico's 25%. Why is the South American countries paying less than the Mexico? And this is what I'm saying. Why are we not putting that kind of pressure on them to help us stop these drug problems?
Yeah, and we're working with Mexico to try to make that happen, but it's believed that the cartel runs the government.
I think they do.
They have all the politicians in their pocket.
I think they do. All right. Now, something else that's interesting here. So, who do you think pays the least amount of tariff right now? Who's our best friend in the world?
I would say UK.
UK.
Yeah.
UK pays 10%.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they've been blocking any of our exports to them, so that's a big hurdle, it seems, for Trump.
Two biggest allies in the world, isn't it? UK and the United States.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
So your next big one is the European Union. European Union only pays 15%. So France, the Finlands, the Germanys, Ireland. Oh, Ireland's part of the UK, but Ireland's in there. Ireland actually pays more than the UK does. Excuse me, more than the UK and England. They pay 15, not 10.
Gotcha.
Yes.
With the EU, one of the big things is they were not allowing us to export a lot of our goods, and I believe Trump has just negotiated that a lot more of our stuff can actually be sent over. So,
well, they're all paying 15, and you got to think about when the England defected here 6-8 years ago.
Yeah.
Because they felt like they were paying a whole bunch more than their fair share.
Yeah.
Which I believe the European Union is like, 27 countries? Something along those lines.
Yeah.
But Italy, on and on.
Yeah.
15%, Jason, if you want to know. 15%.
That's the baseline, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, what you said a while ago. How is this affecting our economy? All these things. All right? The average effect the tariff rate on U.S. imports is the highest it's been since the 1930s, according to the Budget Lab at Yale. All right? So we're more tariffs than ever before, virtually 100 years ago. We're 5 years away from the 1930s, the 2030s. Get this. And this was as of this morning. As of this morning, 87% of the companies in the S&P 500 have reported earnings for the second quarter, with 81% of those companies beating Wall Street expectations, according to FactSet.
Yeah. Well, the market is definitely up, so it kind of goes hand in hand there.
So, well, everybody say, oh, it's just killing our economy and this, and this. Well, these companies' earnings are higher than expected by the gurus on Wall Street. That's how it's affecting, how these tariffs are affecting stuff.
Well, everybody thought with these tariffs that it would raise the prices of everything because they thought that those tariffs would be passed on to the consumer.
Raise the prices unless the consumer would not go pay the dollar.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't, in essence, afford to pay the dollar. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, according to the income statements at the bottom of the day, do not show that.
Yeah. Have you noticed any increase in prices?
I don't pay attention. And I mow the yard, Jason.
Well, me too. But just so happens my wife did bring this up just a couple of days ago, and she is the official of the prices at Walmart. So she has told me that she has not noticed any difference. So
what little I bring to the table,
yeah,
has not went up or down.
Gotcha. Understand.
So
the in and out of your paycheck, of your pocketbook there, I guess, is still kind of staying the same, right?
Yeah,
going in the same direction. It's not didn't take a dive.
There's only one thing that I'm concerned with. That stinking Amazon truck who drives on my grass when he pulls into the driveway.
Oh man, you need to put your big old rock up.
Oh, I've got nails on order.
Yeah.
Just
get you a big boulder. Throw it right out there on the corner.
But see, it don't look good. I got to have a good looking place.
Get you a statue of yourself, put it out there on the corner.
Would you start the Michael Wright Statue Fund, please?
There you go.
You going to throw in the first dollar?
We'll kickstart that, yeah.
We'll probably have a lot of people making contributions not to do it.
Well, there you go. Either way, it's a win-win for you.
FYI, as we continue on here at Money, Motivation, and Mike, we're going to start trying to bring you more content with less content per show. Just like today, went straight into the topics. You know how to get a hold of us. You know how to listen to us. And occasionally we'll continue to talk about how to get a hold of us. But obviously you're listening to us and you're watching us. You know how to do this.
Information's in the comment section just below.
Get on those likes down there, right?
Like, comment. Yeah, in the info section down there, you'll see how to contact us.
So, for this show and everyone who's been a part, and Money, Motivation, and Mike, continue to live your life the right way.